Good morning, everyone. For those of you who are joining just now, we have a nice little group going. We're always happy to see that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I see some more people rolling in, so we will give them one more minute and we will begin. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Southeast PA PTAC webinar here today. We are going to be discussing how to develop an effective government marketing plan. And our star presenter today is Claudia. She's the economic developer professional of 18 plus years of experience in small business lending and contracting. She's skillful in finding different paths for business development in profit, nonprofit, and government sector. However, here in her role as a PTAC or Procurement Technical Assistance Counselor, she is here to assist you with your for-profit business and how to gain some traction in government contracting. We do want to just remind everybody to mute their microphones as we move forward, so we do not interrupt. This is a recorded session, so for you can revisit this presentation for any follow-up information. And just a few changes that we wanted to make you aware of. You may know us as the Southeast PA PTAC, but our funding agency has changed from Defense Logistics Agency to DoD, Department of Defense. And as a part of that change, they are rebranding us. So right now you will see us as Apex Accelerators. And our particular office is called Southeast Pennsylvania Apex Accelerators. So whenever you see a new logo, please do not be surprised. We still offer same great free service and support to help you navigate government contracting. And as part of that change, on the upside, we will increase our scope and resources to support your business even better than we have thus far. So you will see our signatures change, our website, our social media presence, and please do join all of those for any updates and information. Also our newsletter. So when you see this change, we are still Southeast PA PTAC. We have not jumped the ship and taken your client information with us. So please be aware of that. And from here on out, I just want to let everybody know to put their questions in the chat. We will try to address them all. And as always, for individual needs of your business, please reach out to us. And if you do not have a signed counselor, reach out to us. We will put an email in the chat and we will assign you with the counselor that works in your particular county and based on your business needs. So having said all of this, I just want to turn this podium over to Claudia, our presenter today.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Natasha, for that great introduction. And thank you, everyone, for coming to this presentation. We are going to talk about getting your business ready to get a contract. So the agenda today is going to be developing a successful government marketing plan, finding information on agencies and prime contractors as prospects, finding opportunities for bidding on current contracts, and we're going to talk also some online research resources. So we have to ask ourselves some basic questions for where you want to prospect for opportunities. So we have to ask about what agencies buy what you sell, who makes the decisions to buy, who are the ones that supplies them right now, what purchasing vehicles do they use, and how can you compete? That's the questions that we're gonna answer today. So for that, we need to know who is our target market. And because we know that we have 400 plus agencies in the federal world, then you only have to select 3 or 5 agencies to target, understand their mission, know the sub-offices, focus on the best fit, how could you better cater to what they need, what contract vehicles do they prefer, know what the role of how the primes are supported, and know also if they have like a preferred vendor list. Plug into their small business support. So you have to also know about how do they do business in order for you to customize your approach. So you need to contact 2 kinds of people to contact. So there is government agencies and prime contractors. So government agencies, there are contracting officers, and there are the end users, which are the ones that need the product or services. So contracting officers are the ones that have the legal responsibility for purchasing, but the end users are the ones that are in need and use the product or service. So that is the key target for you. So knowing them very well. So prime contractors, there is subcontracting opportunities that you can be a part, and also you can search for those opportunities with using SAM.gov tool. So you have to also know the lingo of the contracting world. So there is a FAR, the Federal Acquisition Regulation, that determines who purchase what. So there is a simplified acquisition when you purchase less than $250,000. They are set aside for a small business. But there is also micro purchase threshold. So from $3,000 to $10,000, and you can also usually they use credit card. There is no competition required, and it's open to all large and small businesses too. Then the type of purchases too, from the Federal Acquisition Regulation, purchases over $25,000, it must be posted on SAM.gov. Purchases over $250,000, they are considered full and open competition. But they are required for subcontracting plan if you have contracts over $750,000, and if it's in construction, $1.5 million. So they are required to have a subcontracting plan, and this is where you need to pay attention, because there's where the small businesses have opportunities. Also, information you can get with the small business liaison officer in each organization. So purchasing vehicles. So how do they purchase the government? So there's an open market where there is a purchase of 20% is spent, and on the tip of the pyramid is that 80% is purchased. So the open market is 20%. So, credit cards. The government-wide purchasing is vehicles like, for example, federal supply schedules. Some wide, so you have a contract with them, and the government will buy from that contract that you already have previously established. Special programs, have you here, for example, UNICOR or Ability One, that are for people, for example, with disabilities, that they have the special programs for them to purchase, to sell to the government. And on the tip of the pyramid is the IDIQs, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, and are the ones that the government purchases the 80% of the time. So you want to be very knowledgeable on these IDIQs, blanket purchase agreements, Mattox, which are some of the vehicles that they use to purchase in big quantity. So by now, probably you will know that there is the SAM registration that you have to have, plus also the Small Business Administration profile called the Dynamic Small Business Search. So you have to use this vehicle very wise, because the officers and contracting agencies, they look to see if they can set aside a particular contract. So you can access it through SAM, or you can access it through the SBA. So they will ask you to add the capability narrative. You have to have the keywords that match your NAICS codes, your PSC codes. Be sure you have your certifications are listed, and add a key references of what you have already done in your business. So that is the Dynamic Small Business Search. Another element very important to market your services is the capability statement. So pretty much the capability statement is the resume of your business. So you're going to do a very good job. Don't forget to change the Dun & Bradstreet. Now change it to the unique entity ID. So that unique entity ID has to be in your capability statement. So what you do is their needs, and then you go to your office, you customize what it is that they need based on what you offer, and then you submit or send out the capability statement. That's how you do it. So also working with primes too is a way of entering your subcontract or primes too. So you have to know their business model before you make a contact with them. They want to have people that have already know what it is that they need, but you also can cater to them based on your unique competencies, security clearances that you could have, quality program, specialized IT management systems that they don't know that you could provide to. Convey your unique value and niche. I mean, they're very busy, so be ready to meet with them. And lead with your qualifications and past performance. So know what it is that they're going to be click with to be able to have ready that conversation. Also, market research, finding prospects. How do I do that? So you have to review the past contracts for your types of products and services, research agency websites, find and review current bidding opportunities. So for that, just count with us, with the Apex. Well, now we're being called Apex Accelerator. Before it was Procurement Technical Assistance Center. So just remember to start shifting the name. Now it's going to be Apex Accelerator. That's how we are going to be called. So you have to know where to look. And if you're confused what to do first, just contact us. Also, it's important to find past contracts, right? Find agencies that purchase what you sell. Find prospective prime contractors. Understand what vehicles they use. And also learn about your competition too. Where to look for contract histories. So there is a vehicle that's called Federal Procurement Data System. So you can find what companies, how much, where, when, all the details that you need to be able to think about yourself. How are you going to move forward with your strategy? That's called Federal Procurement Data System, www.fpds.gov. Where to find current opportunities. So now we have the revamped SAM.gov that probably by now you should have your SAM.gov account, which is SAM.gov with the Dynamic Small Business Search that we just talked about. having two in one. So talking a little bit, the General Services Administration, the GSA. So what is the GSA? GSA is one of the biggest buyers in the government. So they want to purchase high quality, low cost goods and services from reliable commercial vendors. So you have to have your own vehicle already submitted. The vehicles are the IDIQs, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, GWACs, government-wide acquisition contracts, or multiple award schedules. So depending upon what you have to offer and your strategy, you select any of those. So the General Services Administration Federal Supply Schedule contracts are contracts given to businesses for 5 years. The vendor has to, submit the paperwork and be admitted to the program. It needs to be pre-qualified vendor. The goods and services that have contracts are organized in schedules. And also there is a GSA Advantage and GSA Sales Query where you can do some research, where it's listing of your potential competitors. So this is a perfect way of seeing who is there, who has a GSA schedule, and how can you compete with them. Or sometimes you find a way of teaming up with them too, depending upon your strategy. So this is how the GSA schedule category sheet looks, and it's categorized by SIN, SINs, that is a special item number, by NAICS codes. So this is like a general overview of how the GSA schedule category sheet looks. There is acquisition.gov where the agencies add all the procurement forecast for the future, for the year. So there is per entity, you go there and see where is it coming from, the demand for your products and services, right? You are preparing your marketing plan, so you better know who are the players that you're going to target to. There is a website here, www.acquisition.gov/procurement forecasts. So bid resources. So where you are finding the opportunities to sell to the government. So there is DIBS, which is the Defense Internet Bid Board System. It's administered by the Defense Logistics Agency. There is also individual agency sites that you can go and see how they do business, commercial bid searching programs too, and also count with us, with the Apex, with BidMatch for the Apex accelerators. So this is our BidMatch program. Our BidMatch program is no cost. And what we do is we ask you to send us at no charge your keywords, your codes that define your services and products, and you will send an email every day based on what your keywords were submitted. So the BidMatch program is a service that in Pennsylvania is no cost. In other states, they charge, but it's a service that offers like a research without doing much work. It's a research that it gets to your inbox of the potential solicitation that matches what you have to sell to the government. So this is a list of sites that BidMatch program searches. And even though it's not comprehensive, I encourage you to have it as a as a good tool to start your research. Also, not only look for the state opportunities, but also for the state and local opportunities. Like I say, it's not 100% comprehensive, but it is a good way of starting and learning what are their needs of the different agencies at a local and state level. So research summary. So you can find information from the contracts that were in the past or for the current opportunities, right? From the past, you can find the agencies that are buying what you sell, the prime contractors, understand how purchasing is organized and managed, learn about your competition too. And the new bid opportunities also is important. SAM.gov, research for procurement forecast too, use the bid match program that we have, and also use the different agencies' websites that, that every agency has available. So before we finish the conversation, I want to share with you that I went to business opportunity in Lakehurst, New Jersey. So there were 400 people. There were some people from Pennsylvania, some businesses, and some clients of ours too. And they were just like going there to network with the government. So I encourage you to have a plan, a marketing plan, including meeting in person those officers, understanding what it is that you have to do. For example, I met one guy from a printing company, and he got laid there, and he was just like, wow, how to start? Just like right now, you have to at least get like 6 people and introduce yourself. You're not going to be able to interview the 400 people, so 6. But the best way is before you even go to an event, go and see who are going to be attending there, and have a plan of who are you going to contact or who are you going to introduce yourself. So then it's going to be like more better efficiency in your time span. So I encourage you to be proactive and attend the different types of events, because it's in events that you make connections and get ultimate contracts. So I want to thank you so much. Now we are not anymore the Procurement Technical Assistance Center. We are the Southeast PA Apex Accelerator. So every time you see that name, you know that we were the PTAC. We are broadcasting from the Lehigh University. My name, Claudia Hadley. You already have some of my clients are already in this event. This is my email, my phone number. You can call me, you can email me. We are the Southeast PA Apex Accelerator. We have a Widener University, Lehigh University, and Kutztown University. So there are 3 universities that takes care of an ample territory, and depending upon where you are located, we are going to send you to whoever is assigned to that territory. So I hope you have some questions for me. And Beth, if you have any questions, let me know.
We do
You
have
can
some
email
questions
me,
in the
or
chat.
you can be in the chat too.
We have some questions that have popped up in the chat. So Beth, do you want to read them off, and we'll try to provide an answer?
Yes, we have. Sorry, I'm just going through trying to. Several people have asked, how will they can they get a copy of these email slides? I'm asking them, if you would like a copy of today's presentation, please leave your email address within the chat, or you can email Claudia at cmh220@lehigh.edu. She can provide a copy of this. We have one question that has
I just want to piggyback on that, Beth, just so you know, we also have a YouTube channel, and as I will email it to everyone that has attended today, and you can always revisit that information that way as well.
Thank you for pointing that out, Natasha.
Sure.
First question is, can you explain, and this might be a miss here, can you explain how bid match is not comprehensive? I'm not sure what that's with regard to, but Claudia?
Well, you know, when you say comprehensive, that means it's 100%. So it is a very good tool, but it's not going to take, it is not, in procurement, there is always new things happening and developing. So we try our best to be comprehensive, but it is not.
Just to piggyback on that,
Sure.
so in our bid match system, that does pull published opportunities from local, state, and a federal level, but it doesn't pull from all the databases. And Bruce, I believe you specifically know which ones it does not pull from. Would you mind?
Yes, well, the problem is that bid match depends upon a database provided by the government entities. And they are supposed to post a description of the requirement in text. They're also supposed to post which NAICS codes and product service codes apply to the opportunity. If the government agency doesn't put out those codes or has a strange way of describing what they're looking for, bid match is not going to find it. But if they follow the standard procedures for postings, bid match will definitely find it.
Yes, thank you very much, Bruce, for that. I hope that answers your question. Beth, what would be the next question?
Follow-up question to that. Ms. Boone had asked, is 8A certification a requirement for bids?
Yeah. Who wants to answer that question on our team?
I'm sorry, what did you say? Is 8A?
A
8A
requirement
is
for
the
bids.
CA 8A certification requirement for bids.
Only if it's at 8A, it will be a requirement. If it's 8A set aside, only the 8A firms will have to have that certification to apply. The rest, no. If it's not 8A set aside, no. Depending upon this, if it's set aside for something, you have to be that something. But if it's 8A, you have to be 8A.
Would you mind just briefly explaining what a set aside is for those that are not readily familiar?
So set asides are a portion of contracts that are only geared to a particular group of companies that have a particular certification. For example, set aside for 8A, that means that only companies with 8A certification have the opportunity to bid on it. Or it's a women business certification set aside, only women-owned business. So depend upon, or veteran too. So depending upon the classification, you can, the businesses can, submit the solicitation.
And then piggybacking on that question about certifications, we had another question asking, is DBE certification advantageous outside of the Federal Transportation Administration? This may be a little pointed,
Okay.
but yes.
Mhm.
Anyone want to take the answer to
Claudia?
that?
So the DBE, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, are certifications that were, especially with the Department of Transportation. So when they ask you, for example, in some registration, are you DBE? You can say yes if you have it. So it's like another certification that you have. And especially with the Department of Transportation, they are like, they prefer the DBEs. But Bruce, do you want to add a little bit more on that, please?
Sure. DBE really is the designation related to Department of Transportation minority firms. There's also in SAM, you can self-register as a small disadvantaged business if you are a minority business. In addition to that, at the federal level, the 8A program is specifically for minority firms. So at most federal levels, they will require 8A to be a prime contractor if it's a minority set aside, an 8A set aside. On the other hand, if you are self-registered in SAM as a small disadvantaged business, if you subcontract to a prime contractor, they can count that toward the minority fulfillment goals of the government. So I know that's a little bit complicated, but in general, federal government agencies outside of Department of Transportation, if it's a minority set aside for the prime contractor, it generally means they want to have 8A certification. 8A certification is provided by the Small Business Administration for companies whose owners have 51% ownership, and those individuals need to fall in one of the 5 classes of disadvantage, such as African American, Southeast Asian, et cetera. I mean, that's a whole different topic about that certification, but
Yeah.
but that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, and we are preparing webinar for that, so do stay tuned, right?
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, we've noticed a lot of businesses out there that are offering help with getting your 8A certification, usually for a fee. This is something that our consultants will also help with, and we do not charge. So if you're interested in more information about 8A certification, either reach out to us or reach out to your counselor for more information on that. And yes,
Or
8A
if you
is
come,
not-
and if you may, SAM registration, same thing. So if you ever see per fee service, do double check with us. There are things that you do not need to pay for, they're readily available. So, okay, great. So
Thank you,
I
Beth,
see
for
Renee.
that comment.
Mhm. Yeah.
welcome. And then wrapping, one of the comments had mentioned, one of your slides had mentioned Canadian businesses. Can you discuss how to get involved with bidding with the Canadian government, or if if being a dual citizen is advantageous to getting business in the Canadian procurement realm?
Hmm,
Yeah, we do not assist, with the opportunities in Canada.
right.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Canada has a, kindred program that would provide that type of assistance, but we do not provide, yeah.
There
This
is a
is
joint,
Andrea Hampton with the Lehigh SBDC. Sorry, Natasha. I just wanted to say, if you are looking for opportunities in other countries, you may want to start with your regional export network.
Mhm.
So if you look up Pennsylvania OIBD, and depending on where you're at, connect with that regional export network, they may be able to
Okay.
assist in at least finding the resources for government contracting abroad.
Yeah, that's a great tip, Andrea. Bruce, you wanted to say something as well?
yes, the Department of Defense particularly has a joint purchasing program with Canada. Now, that's mostly for goods in the Department of Defense. Those will sometimes be posted on SAM, and if you sign up for our bid match program, those will show up. So yes, there's joint purchasing programs between the US and Canada for specific types of goods. So that's as far as we really can deal with it. And it doesn't make any difference if you're a Canadian citizen, although they may have a preference if your company is in Canada, but we wouldn't be talking to you today if your company is in Canada. So
Mhm. Yeah. So yes, we
Thank
are,
you.
go ahead. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Beth, I see a couple more other questions that have popped up.
Yes, sorry, excuse me, I'm trying to answer some of the questions regarding the YouTube. Is there going to be a webinar for minority-owned business certification training, and when will that be?
Yes, so we are planning on it. We have set the date and we're going to have an SBA representative. And let me just double check the date looking at my calendar, but I think it's in April. And they're going to break down the 8A certification, the woman-owned certification via SBA and all those things. So that is I am going to, so in April, we are looking at April. Okay, that is going to be on April 11th, and in our link here, I am putting our website. You can always double check. You can also sign up right there. So we have just set the date, so keep an eye, we're gonna send you a newsletter also listing all of our upcoming webinars, this being one of them. We just confirmed the date on Friday, and we are preparing our marketing materials relative to that. Also, some other webinars that are coming up is next week on February 21st, we have government procurement readiness. What does it mean, right? So while you are effectively maybe functioning in a commercial sector, what does it mean to be procurement ready? We're going to go in a little bit more detail on that date, so please do register. I know Claudia has mentioned GSA. We're going to have a representative from GSA give a presentation on March 27th. What does it mean? What does it take to be on a GSA schedule? And really explain that landscape. Usually businesses need to be pre-qualified, in a business for at least 2 years. So please join us then. And one of those webinars that are very important that are coming up on March 7th and 8th, we're going to have our representatives discussing, financial aspects of a proposals, for proposal adequacy to accounting system requirements. And I know it's not one of those topics that everyone saves for the last minute, but please do join us for those as well. A lot of super instrumental information will be provided that is mandatory and often difficult for small businesses to tackle. So please do sign up for those webinars as well. So yeah. And
I might also add,
yes.
excuse me, that, if you have an immediate need for any of
Yeah.
these topics, you can always sign up as a PTAC client or Apex client and talk to your counselor about it. So if we're going to be doing an education event 2 months down the road, but you need something now,
Right.
sign up as a client and get in touch with your counselor because we can cover it.
Correct. Thank you so much, Bruce, for that reminder on our website. If you're not in a system already and you do not have it, counselor, click on become a client. Email comes to us. We check it every day. That email that we have put in a chat, ptac@kutztown.edu, we are monitoring every day, and we are assigning counselors every day. We are small but mighty team of 7 counselors. So please do reach out to us, and we will try to address needs that are particular to your business, because every business landscape is very different, right? So I think I saw a question early on that I do want to address. It's how to find out about the different events that federal agencies have, so that it will be part of your creating your marketing plan, and your counselor can help you devise that. So if you do, let's say, search on FPDS, as Claudia mentioned, and you find out that particular government agency is issuing contracts that you can fulfill, you would always look for events that those federal agencies are creating and try to participate in those. So it would be a targeting approach. So each agency has their own set of events, and we can help you how to find those. Just get in touch with us, and we will find some of those events for you. Also, I know we were talking primarily about federal opportunities. Claudia mentioned past performance is very important, and one of other gateways that and markets that might be easier when it comes to government to enter is state and local opportunities as well, and we can help with those too. So stay tuned. We're going to have a state and Philadelphia local representatives conduct webinars on how to participate, become a vendor as well. So stay tuned. Those sessions are in planning as well. But as Bruce mentioned, in the meantime, we can help you on the individual level.
And then one of the last questions was, can you tell us where to find networking events in Pennsylvania? As we had all mentioned, if you sign up here, get with your counselor, get your name on our mailing list. We disseminate newsletters that have upcoming events listed. Our website has an events page that you can follow to find new things. Also, our Twitter and LinkedIn feeds, we post all upcoming webinars with links to register and sign up, as well as associated governmental networking opportunities that are not necessarily run by our organization, but may be beneficial or of interest to you.
Yeah, thank you. And if you are on our mailing list, if you are our existing client, or when you sign up, we do send out monthly newsletters. And no, to answer your question, Renee, we do not work with nonprofits. Our whole mission is based on to make businesses procurement ready to sell to the government. So we do not assist nonprofits. Yeah, I'm gonna, Beth, do you mind putting a LinkedIn page? And Kevin, what is the 2-year in business again for? So the GSA often want an 8A certification. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but they like to work with 8A certification. You're required to be 2 years in business and provide financials for the last 2 years. GSA also wants to see that the business has been successful in providing product or service for at least 2 years. So that's what that your 2-year reference is. There are some exceptions, but they're on case-by-case basis.
This is, excuse me, this is Ray, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt, but
Sure.
I thought that when the accelerator made the change,
Mhm.
that there was some language in there that said that we could, in fact, work for nonprofits.
No, that language is not embedded yet. And we are still currently on the DLA until the end of July. So that metric has not changed for us yet, Ray.
Okay,
Mhm. Okay.
Just bear with me. I'm putting up all the links as we speak. I'm just finding them and copying them.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, Beba. She said, thank you for informative sessions. So, we are looking for a flurry of emails coming into our PTAC.
Thank you,
and putting
everyone,
down
for
that
attending.
EQ.
Any other questions, please email me.
Mhm.
Count with us, the
Mhm.
former PTAC, now Apex Accelerator, for your questions.
Mhm.
And we are, in 3 different universities, and we are ready to assist you in any way we can.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for attending, and I don't know if you have more questions?
Yeah, I see Miriam I'm going through WOSB certification. How long does it take typically for the UEI to show on SAM.gov? So I feel like there are 2 separate questions, Miriam. So UEI number is associated with your registration on SAM.gov. So they have recently changed the entire system to validate businesses that want to sell to federal agencies. So sometimes the process can take 30 to 60 days, 30 being the 3 weeks being the best case scenario if all of the information is consistent, but we can certainly help you with that. And a woman-owned small business certification with SBA, I'm not sure how long it takes right now. I know they have also some system challenges and some backlog, but we can assist with that too. So there are some agencies you can go through to certify as a woman-owned small business. But also if you do it directly with SBA, that certification is free. If you go to WeBank, there's a fee associated of $300 to $400 or something like that. But it can be done on with SBA. So feel free to reach out to us, to assist you with both your SAM.gov registration and woman-owned small business certification. You're welcome, Marion. I know navigating SAM.gov registration is a bit of a challenge right now, but we have worked through many glitches. So we have kind of become experts, so feel free to reach out to us. If there are no, and if there aren't, here's a LinkedIn. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to really thank you all for participating today. And we'll look forward to hearing from you all and seeing you on some of our upcoming webinars.
Thank
Thank
you.